Imagine Christmas Eve where if you forgot the milk, you were done. No corner shops, no 24-hour Tesco, nothing. Just you, your mistake, and 3 days of closed Britain staring you in the face. That was Christmas Eve in the 1970s, and it was absolute chaos. Families treated it like preparing for war, shops shut down like the country was under siege, and if you weren't up at 5 a.m., you weren't getting a turkey. This is the Christmas Eve that broke backs, tested marriages, and somehow became the most magical. The day started in darkness. Not the cozy, romantic kind. The brutal, freezing British winter darkness where your breath made clouds and your fingers went numb. Because by 6 a.m., queues were already snaking down the high street outside the butcher shop. Everyone was there for one thing: the turkey. Now, here's the thing people forget. You couldn't just rock up and buy a turkey. You ordered it weeks ago. You reserved it like you were booking a holiday. And on Christmas Eve morning, you joined the queue with everyone else who'd done the same thing, shuffling forward in the cold, waiting for your name to be called. Miss your slot? Tough. You're having sausages for Christmas dinner. The butcher shop was like a production line. Paper-wrapped birds being handed over the counter, money exchanging hands, everyone grim-faced and determined. No smiles, no festive cheer, just a silent understanding that this was survival. And once you had that turkey, massive, rock-solid frozen, weighing more than a toddler, you carried it home like you'd won a trophy. But the stress, it was just beginning. By 9 a.m., the high streets were packed. Woolworths was absolutely ramped. People grabbing boxes of crackers, last-minute toys, batteries they'd forgotten, wrapping paper that would rip the second you touched it. The aisles were gridlocked, elbows out, trolleys clashing, everyone panic buying like the apocalypse was scheduled for 12:30 p.m., because it basically was. See, by midday, everything shut. And we're not talking reduced hours, we're talking closed, locked, done. The butcher, the baker, Woolworths, the newsagent, everything. And it stayed shut for days. Christmas Day, Boxing Day, sometimes the 27th too. If you forgot something, you were genuinely stuck. So people stockpiled like they were preparing for a siege. Bread, milk, vegetables, biscuits, enough food to feed a small army, because what if someone dropped by? What if you ran out of tea? What if? The fear was real. And then, sudden silence. The high street, which an hour ago was chaos, went completely dead. Shutters down, lights off, tumbleweed practically rolling past. It felt eerie, like someone had hit pause on the entire country. Now back at home, the real work began. That turkey you collected at dawn, still frozen solid. So into the bath it went, the actual bathtub, filled with cold water, and there it sat, taking up the entire tub while it slowly defrosted, which meant no baths for anyone. You wanted to get clean? Sink, flannel, sort yourself out. The turkey had priority. Hours later, once it finally thawed, the kitchen became a war zone. Sprouts, mountains of them, tiny green hand grenades that needed peeling one by one. Kids got roped in. Everyone did. Sit at the table, peel sprouts, listen to the radio. It took forever. Your fingers cramped, you started to hate sprouts before you'd even cook them. But sprouts were nothing compared to the trifle. The 1970s trifle was an architectural feat. Jelly, custard, cream, sponge, sherry if your mom was feeling fancy, layers built with the precision of an engineer, and it had to set in the coldest room in the house because fridges were tiny and already stuffed with butter, bacon, and cream that would definitely go off. The smell started creeping through the house. Mince pies baking, bread sauce simmering, the faint whiff of brandy butter being mixed. It smelled like Christmas, even if it looked like stress. Some people couldn't take it. The dads mostly. They'd slip out mid-afternoon, just popping to the pub for one quick pint. Classic. The pub on Christmas Eve was packed, warm, loud, filled with men pretending they weren't hiding from the chaos at home. One pint turned into 3.
They'd roll back hours later smelling like beer and cigarettes, grinning like they'd done nothing wrong. Meanwhile, back in the house, moms were doing everything. Cooking, organizing, wrapping last-minute presents with cello tape that didn't stick and paper that ripped. The stress was unreal. But here's the weird part. No one complained. Not really. This was just what Christmas Eve was. Hard work, exhausting, stressful. But everyone did it, together. Same day, same rituals.
By evening, things shifted. The TV went on. Carols from King's College, Cambridge. Everyone watching the same thing because there were only 3 channels and this is what was on. You didn't choose, you just watched, together, as a nation. Kids got baths, freezing cold ones because the hot water had run out hours ago. Then into brand new pajamas, the ones bought specially for Christmas. Stiff, scratchy, smelling like the shop. You wore them anyway because it was tradition. And then the magic. Mince pies left out for Father Christmas, a glass of milk, maybe a carrot for the reindeer if someone remembered. Kids were sent to bed early, shivering under thin blankets and freezing bedrooms with single-pane windows that did absolutely nothing to keep the cold out. But no one could sleep. You'd lie there in the dark, ears straining for sounds, footsteps, bells, reindeer hooves on the roof, your heart pounding because maybe, just maybe, you'd hear him. Every creak of the house was proof he was coming. Every distant sound was sleigh bells. It was terrifying and thrilling and completely magical. And the thing is, it wasn't glamorous. It wasn't perfect. It was cold, stressful, exhausting. The shops closed too early. The turkey was too big. The bath was too cold. Everything was inconvenient. But it was ours. Every family in Britain doing the exact same thing. Same stress, same rituals, same frozen bedrooms, and same excitement. It was shared, national, a collective experience that tied everyone together, whether they knew it or not. People who lived through it don't talk about it like it was a hardship. They talk about it like it was the best Christmas they ever had. Because it wasn't about convenience or comfort, it was about the feeling, the anticipation, the buildup, the knowledge that once the shops shut, that was it. No going back. You were committed, all in. And somehow that made it matter more. So yeah, Christmas Eve in the 1970s was chaotic, freezing, and stressful in ways that would make modern Britain lose its mind. But here's the thing no one talks about. Those kids lying awake in frozen bedrooms, listening for Father Christmas, heart pounding with pure belief, they grew up and became parents themselves, and they tried to recreate that same magic for their own kids. But they couldn't, because by then, the shops stayed open, the internet existed, and Christmas Eve had become just another day you could fix your mistakes. The urgency was gone. The shared national ritual was gone. And without anyone realizing it, something that held the country together on one single night every year quietly disappeared. And the last generation to experience it is starting to forget what it actually felt like to believe that if you missed that butcher's queue, Christmas itself was genuinely at risk.